Hello. Hello. I hadn't realized that I was live. So, welcome everybody. Good to be here with you. My name is Mimi, and I've been teaching yoga online through Thunderwell throughout the pandemic. So, started in the spring of 2020 and have been here bi-weekly since then, helping to provide folks with a little TLC and self-care time throughout the pandemic to carry us through. And we're not quite through yet. Seems like we have a bit longer to go, but unfortunately, this is actually our last virtual yoga class for the time being. So if you've liked these classes, the good thing is that you can always access them on the Thunderwell YouTube channel. Those classes will be up forever. So even though we won't be adding any more new ones to the library of classes that are already there, and there won't be any more live classes, you can return to the oldies but goodies as often as you'd like, over and over. But for now, we'll settle into this last live class together. And so go ahead, and if you've got a yoga mat, that's fantastic. If you don't have a yoga mat, then you can make do by spreading out a towel or doing it on the rug, or even a floor wouldn't be so bad. And these are yoga blocks. Some of you might have them at home. If you do, go ahead and grab them. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can always grab a couple of thick books. Those could work, or really anything that you could put your hands on if your hands don't reach the floor from a standing position. So, and with that, we'll go ahead and we'll come on to our backs. So, I'm going to go ahead and come into a supine position, or a position on your back. And you can bend your knees and rest the soles of your feet on the floor. Or if it feels okay on your lower back, maybe you extend your legs long. So your choice. And if your home is hot and humid and sticky like mine is, one, go ahead and feel free to move slowly and stop and take some water breaks as needed. And two, you might want to join me in an arm position that might help to pull you off a little bit. So, bending softly at the elbows, you can send your fingertips backwards so that your arms form a goalpost shape, framing your head. And if you're feeling discomfort in that shape and the shoulders, can kind of play with it and adjust it until you find a variation of the shape that feels like you can relax into it. So you're not really fighting it or struggling against it. And if your eyes aren't already closed, you might choose to close them. And that might help to direct your attention and your focus inward. If you've had a really busy day, really full day, you begin to shift that energy and slow things down. And one of the ways that we can try to make that shift is to slow down our breath. So go ahead and begin to take longer, slower cycles of breath. And as you do that, maybe you feel the way that the rib cage and the belly and the heart all respond to that breath, that deeper breath, that fuller breath. Good. And then if your legs aren't bent, if you had chosen to have them straight, go ahead and bend them at this point. And you can go ahead and interlace your fingers behind your head so your knees are bent and your feet are flat on the floor, about hips width distance apart. And let's go ahead and in the upper body, let's curve to the right. So it's going to curve the upper body, relax the elbows down, and take a few breaths here. And as you curve into the upper body, we notice the way that that brightens up sensation along that left-hand side of your ribcage. And then see if you can relax your arms a little bit more so that left elbow either touching down to the ground or moving in that direction. And then come back through the center and pause. Elbows are wide. And we'll curve to the other side. So upper body curving over to the left. And allow that right elbow to relax downward. And feel into that right-hand side of your ribcage now. That side, getting the attention, getting the focus. And then come to the center. You're going to release your hands from behind your head and reach your palms up towards the ceiling. And as you do that, you can have your palms face each other and really allow the backs of the shoulder blades to relax down to the floor. So they're kind of heavy and weighted, dropping backwards towards the floor. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to shrug your fingertips up towards the ceiling and then drop them back down. And shrug your fingertips up towards the ceiling and then drop the backs of the shoulder blades down. So as you shrug your fingertips up towards the ceiling, the shoulder blades roll forward and peel up off the floor, and then drop it back down. Do it a few more times. Good. And then go ahead and bring your palms together up over your face, so like prayer hands. And then spread your fingers wide, so your hands are fanned out. And then separate your palms, but keep your fingertips touching. So it's like you're forming a little cage, like you can imagine a ball sitting there. And then bend your elbows just a bit. You're going to drop your arms to the floor behind you. And then bring your arms back overhead. And just go ahead and do that a few more times. Elbows are soft. Another few times here. Good. And then just rest your hands on your belly. Take a few breaths here. Couple of moments. Good. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. So if you have your feet wide, maybe you bring them into hips width distance apart. And you're going to pick up your right foot. Then you're just going to catch either in front of your shin or your knee or maybe behind your thigh. You're going to begin to circle your ankle. And you circle it in one direction. And eventually circle it in the other direction. And then point, flex, and wiggle your toes some. Nice and easy motion here. And then interlace your fingers behind your thigh. And you're going to stretch your foot up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to bend your knee again. And you're going to do that a few times. So just a tip, if you can't straighten your leg towards the ceiling while your hands are interlaced, you can always go ahead and relax your arms by your side and straighten and bend your leg just like that. So sometimes if you're holding on behind your leg, it might be too intense. Good, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to leave your leg up and you're going to release your arms by your side. We're going to do some circles with our legs, so big circles. So first we're going to drop down in the front so that our leg just barely hovers. And then swing your leg out to the right and circle it back up towards the ceiling. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So lower your leg so it's just hovering. Slide it to the right and circle back up. And then one last time, leg comes down to hover, circle it out to the right and up and pause. And we're going to go in the opposite direction. So let your leg come out to the right first, circle around to the front, and back up. And 2 more times. So circle the leg out to the side, and around to the front, and back up. And the last time, so the leg goes out to the side, circle around for the front, and up. And then bend your knee and just let your hands come to your belly. Take a few breaths. If you want to temporarily straighten out your legs here, you're welcome to, or maybe you swing them side to side if you had a little bit of burn or fatigue in that leg and hip from those circles. All right, and we'll do the other side. So pick up your left foot Hug it towards your belly, circle your ankle, point to flex. Just giving your foot a little attention and love. And then interlace your hands behind your thigh and stretch your foot up towards the ceiling and bend your knee. And you're going to do that a few times. Foot goes up towards the ceiling and bend the knee. All right, and then leave your leg up, relax your arms into a comfortable position. And we're gonna do our circles. So you'll let your leg come down for the front, swing it out to the left, and circle it back up. And swing it down, and out, and up. And then one last time, swing it down, out, and up. Good. And then we're going to go the opposite way. So you're going out to the left and sweep it around to the front, back up. And out to the left, swing it around, and up. And one last time, out to the left, swing it around, and up. And lower your foot to the floor. And that's all. Just go ahead and straighten our legs for a moment. Maybe stretch our arms way overhead. Take a big yawn. Take a big sigh. And then squeeze your knees in towards your belly. And then take hold behind your thighs. We're going to do a little rocking up and down. So engaging the core. You're going to go ahead and rock yourself up and then roll yourself back down and rock yourself up and roll yourself back down. So do it a few more times. And if you can't quite get yourself up, just keep trying. Maybe laugh. Have a little fun with it. And then roll yourself to a seat. And we're going to swing yourself over our legs and shimmy ourselves back over towards the center of our mat and come into a tabletop position. So as you come into your tabletop, I'll move my blocks. So they're not blocking me. The blocks aren't blocking me. And you're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And we're going to do a little cat-cow, but we're going to change it up some. So you're going to inhale, and you're going to dip your belly down and pull your shoulders back, opening up the front of your body. And then you're going to exhale and round and sit your hips back towards your thighs or towards your heels. And then inhale, come on up, and dip your belly down, open up your heart and your chest, and then exhale, sit yourself back towards your heels. And keep it up. A few more rounds. If you don't like this version, sitting back towards your heels, you can always take more traditional cat-cow, just staying upright. I'll do a couple rounds like that so people can see. And then we're going to settle into a child's pose. So you can bring your big toes together and open your knees wide. And you're going to bow down. And bring your forehead towards the floor. Relax the elbows downward. And then just take a few deep breaths into the back of the body. Take a few more moments here. And then come on up into a tabletop again. Good. All right. From your tabletop, you're just going to stretch your right leg back and hook the ball of your foot to the floor. All right. And then push through your heel. And you might push steadily, or you might pulse a little bit. It's coming into a steady, consistent stretch to the back of the leg. And then let up on that a little bit. And you're going to pulse that leg. We'll do it 5 times. So you're just going to lift it up, squeeze through the glutes, and lower down. For 4, 3, 2, and on 1, hold. And if you'd like, reach your left arm forward. Take a moment here. Good. Lower your hands down. You're going to swing your leg out to the side and press your pinky toe towards the floor. Go ahead and inch your left leg over a little bit to the left. Good. We're going to come on down to our forearms here. And then push our hips back. You might come and flex your foot. You can walk your arms back a little bit so you're drawing your seat towards your heel. You should feel this as a big stretch to the inner right thigh, back of the right leg. Take a few more moments here. And then crawl yourself forward. And we'll take that leg in. We'll bring hands forward of the shoulders. And we're going to push up and back into a downward facing dog. So tucking your toes under. And lift your hips up and back. And once you're in your downward facing dog, you can go ahead and spread your palms. And pedal your feet. Rock your hips from side to side. Just moving, stretching, wiggling. And then you go ahead and tap your knees to the floor. And find a child's pose again. So big toes together, knees apart, and bowing down to the floor. Take a few breaths here. And then come on up to a tabletop. Hands are stacked underneath the shoulders. And you're going to stretch your left leg. And bring the ball of your foot to the floor. Push through your heel. Take a couple moments here. Simple stretch. Sometimes it's these simple stretches that feel the most powerful, that feel the most gratifying. You don't have to do fancy poses in yoga to feel good. And then we're going to pulse. So lifting the leg up and setting it down. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. You'll hold and reach your right arm forward. Take a couple breaths here. You go ahead and lower your hands and swing your leg out to the side. Good. And scoot your right shin over and come down to your forearms. And you're going to rock onto that left heel, walk your forearms back, and sit back onto your heel. Take a little time here. Couple more breaths. Good, and then crawl yourself forward, bring your knee in, and we're going to come to a downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under, and lift yourself up and back. And from your downward facing dog, begin to walk your hands and your feet towards each other. And once you arrive, soften your knees and just let your upper body drape over your thighs. Let your head hang. Maybe there's a little bit of a swing of the hips. And then place your hands mid-shin. And you're going to swing your head and your heart forward and flatten your back. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Keep reaching the hips back. Keep reaching the crown of the head forward. Shoulders slide back. And then soften your knees again. And bow down. Inhale, sweep your arms high and wide. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Looking up. And bring your hands in to your heart. And then take a hand to the heart. And a hand to the belly. Spread through the soles of your feet. Feel that connection to the earth below you. Feel the strength of your legs. See if you can find a sense of steadiness. And arrive. Release your hands down. You're going to take your feet just a little bit further apart and bring your hands to your thighs. Good. You're going to loop your shoulders back and lean back, stretching across the belly and the throat and the heart. And then bend your knees a bunch. And you're just going to let your upper body drape over your thighs like a blanket. And then roll up. Very good, liquidy, fluid motion. Lean back, open up your heart, stick up your belly. And then sit your hips back and roll forward. And just keep it up. Maybe you open your arms, lean back, open your heart and chest. And then come right back. Few more. And then roll yourself up, open yourself up, and bring your hands into your heart once again. Great. Let's go ahead and find those blocks or hooks or whatever it is that you're going to use on the sides of your ankles. Bring your hands together at your heart And we're going to start with a couple half sun salutations. So inhaling, sweep your arms up and look towards the ceiling. Grow really deep. And then exhale and pour yourself forward. Inhale, hands are going to come in shin, and you're going to send your heart forward. And then exhale, soften your knees, and inhale, sweep your arms high and wide to rise, and exhale to your heart. All right, let's begin again. Inhale, sweep your arms up, high and wide, stretching, reaching. And exhale, pour yourself down. Inhale, straight legs, flat back, heart goes forward. Exhale, and forward. Inhale, arms are going to sweep, high and wide. And then exhale, and they join in at your heart. Good. This time, the left leg is going to step back. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, bow your way forward. Inhale, and extend. Bring your hands to your blocks and step your left foot back so that you land in a lunge. Good. Take a couple breaths here. One more moment. Good. And then straighten your front leg. Good. You can hop that back foot in a little bit. That might help. You might find that you don't need the blocks at all. Breathe in the back of your leg. Feeling some softening, some lengthening there. And then bend into that leg again and sweep your right arm up. Take a couple breaths. One more moment. Lower your hand down and lower your back knee down. Good. Untuck your back toes so your toes are pointing straight behind you. And then come on up. Bring your hands to your hips to start. Make sure that you feel steady and stable. And then sink your hips forward. Lift up through the belly, lift up through the chest. And then if you'd like, you can reach your arms up along your ears. Take another moment here. And then let your hands come down to the floor, or maybe your blocks. You're going to slide your hips back and flex your front foot. So that front leg is straight. You might need to kind of wiggle and shimmy it forward to get it straight. Reach your heart forward. Flex through your foot. Flex through your hips. Good. And then go ahead and bend your right knee again and come upright. And as you bend that foot or bend that knee, slide your foot back so that you've got more of this kind of upright and squared off quality. And then go ahead and take your left hand across your thigh and reach your right arm forward. And press against your thigh and have your thigh resist and use that momentum to twist open. Maybe you gaze at your right thumb. One more moment here. And then bring your hand back. Then bring our hands to our hips and see if we can just stand up from here. So you're pressing into your right foot and you're going to try to just stand up or get up, whatever way it works for you. Good. Once you arrive, go ahead and sweep your arms up. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Give a little tug towards the ceiling. And then a little tug up and over to the right. And then come on up. And you'll switch hands. Taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Go ahead and tug up. And over. Lengthening the side body. And coming up. And relax your arms down. And circle them in to your heart. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it out. Through the mouth. Bring it up again. Again. So, hands together at the heart. Go ahead and inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale. Bow your way down. Inhale. Straight legs, flat back. We're doing the whole series on the other leg. So stepping the right foot back. And pause. Bend deeply into that left knee. Lift your heart, draw your shoulders back. And then straighten your front leg. Reach your heart forward. Okay, square off the hips. A few more moments. Good, and then bend deeply into your left knee. Your right hand is going to press to the floor or your block, and you're going to sweep that left arm open for a twist. Take a moment here, back leg still strong. And then lower your hand down and drop your back knee to the floor. Good. And come on up. Good. Compose yourself, steady yourself, hands to your hips. And then sink yourself forward. Lift up through the belly, lift up through the heart. Maybe the chin tilts up. And then, if you'd like, final touch, sweep your arms to the ceiling. Bring your hands to the floor and slide your hips back. Flex your front foot, reach your heart forward, bow in. And then begin to bend that knee again. And come upright. So you can slide your foot back so that you've got this more squared off, sturdy quality. You're going to take your right hand across and your left hand goes straight. And then push against your leg. Have your leg resist some. Twist yourself open. Gaze turns towards that back hand. One more moment here. Maybe feeling little calibrations in the leg, little bits of adjustments to keep yourself Steady and balanced as you twist. Lines, hands to the floor, your blocks. You're going to slide your right leg back. And we're going to come directly from here onto our belly. So just ease your way to the floor. And go ahead and palm hands underneath your forehead. I'm taking a little bit of time here. Belly relaxing to the floor. And then slide your hands so they're about an inch or so outside of your shoulders, sort of like a push-up position. Wrap your elbows and roll your shoulders back. We're just going to come up for a simple back bend, a simple cobra. Inhale and lift from the front body. Take a couple breaths here. Lower down. Turn your head in either direction. And just let the body settle. And then we'll do the same thing again. So squaring up the chin, rolling the shoulders back, lift up, hold, steady, strong back bend. Again, keeping our practice pretty simple. And then lower down, turn your head in the other direction. We're going to push back to a tabletop and then straight back to a child's pose. So big toes together, knees apart, bow down. A few big breaths into the back body. And then let's go ahead and come on to our backs again, just like the place we started from. So coming onto your back. You can draw your knees in towards your belly. And just rock a little bit side to side. And then lower your feet down. And we're going to cross our left ankle over our right thigh. We're going to do a little bit of core work and then come into a hip stretch. So reaching your arms to the floor behind you. You're going to go ahead and crunch up. Bring your knees in and reach forward towards the front of your mat. And then go ahead and settle back down. And let's do that 5 more times. So crunching up. And lower down. For 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. And now you're going to draw your legs in and see if you can catch behind with your hands. And settle the back body down. If you can't catch behind your leg, you can always kind of hold on to your pants to keep your legs extended. You can hold on to that left ankle. Maybe you bend and straighten your right knee a couple times. Let's take a couple of breaths more. And then lower your right foot to the floor. Your arms are going to come out like a T. Walk your right foot over to the right. And allow your legs to fall down to the left. Just let them sink down towards the floor. Let them be heavy. Relax into the back of that right shoulder. More breaths. And then come on up. Lower your foot to the floor. And bring your hands to your belly for just a moment. All right, let's come to the other side. So crossing your right ankle over your left thigh. Stretch your arms to the floor behind you. We've got that little bit of core work left. So you're going to crunch up. And then settle back down. We've got 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then the legs are going to lift, and you're going to catch behind your left thigh, if you can, and settle the back body down. If you can't, you'll go ahead and hold on to your pants or your ankle. Take a couple of breaths here into this nice, juicy hip stretch. And then lower your left foot down. Take your arms wide. The left foot's going to walk to the left, and the legs are going to fall down and over to the right. Be heavy. And then inhale your legs back up. Uncross your legs. We come from here into Shavasana. So Shavasana is just a period of rest, a period of integration at the end of class. So an opportunity to rest in stillness, to rest in silence, and just be present with whatever it is that you're feeling after this hour of movement, this hour of feeding your body so much goodness. And your legs don't have to be stretched out long. You could keep them bent. You're also welcome, if you'd like, instead of lying on your mat, to come up to the seated meditation. And just sit in your quiet stillness in that shape instead. We'll stay for about 2 minutes. See if you can quiet your thoughts. Keep any thoughts about what's next at bay. And just be present with your breath. Focus on its flow. In and out of the body. Inhale, followed by exhale, followed by inhale, followed by exhale. And ends a string. And then begin to deepen your breath. Maybe reaching arms overhead for a moment or two and stretching through your fingers, stretching through your toes. Maybe you take a deep yawn or sigh. And then gather your knees in towards your belly and rocking a little bit side to side. And eventually you'll roll yourself up in either direction. And bring yourself up to once you arrive in a seated position, figure out a shape for your body that feels comfortable. It doesn't need to be any particular way. And your eyes closed and your heart open. Just take a couple moments here. Notice what you feel and notice what feels different. Places where you feel like you have a little bit more spaciousness. And then draw your palms together at your heart. The edge of the thumbs touch into the breastbone. And take one final deep breath in. And then an exhale. And I'll take a bow of gratitude to all of you. And for doing well. And for this journey that we've been on throughout the pandemic, doing yoga together, that is coming to a close. So thank you to everyone that's been attending these classes and joining together with me on these Wednesday nights. And hope to see you at other types of Thunder Mist programming sometime soon. So stay tuned.